youtube.com/MayhewMayhem. That's youtube.com/MayhewMayhem.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I am your host, my name is Michael Mayhew, and I am here with my co-hosts.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg, and we are also joined by the man who would gladly sell his ass for sweet, sweet black tar heroin.
I'm James, and we're joined by the guy that looks like a ferret.
No, I'm gonna take that as a compliment because I love ferrets, okay? So, yes, okay. I have to calm myself. Scott here.
Remember, everyone, 30 Minutes of Mayhem is available on not just YouTube, but also the fine sites and services known as iTunes, Android, Stitcher, and Spreaker. All you have to do is search MayhewMayhem. That's MayhewMayhem, and please make sure to rate us 5 stars.
Also, you can help us afford to continue doing the show by donating to 30 Minutes of Mayhem via PayPal. Just use the email address in the description. That's 30minutesofmayhem@gmail.com.
Alright, so like I said, welcome to 30 Minutes of Mayhem, the podcast your mother can be ashamed of. And tell me, Scott, why is this the podcast your mother can be ashamed of?
Well, I guess that gargling dicks is one way that, or at least talking about that.
That is absolutely correct. Gargling dicks is a reason why this is a podcast that your mother can be ashamed of, because there's a pretty high chance that we could hold at least a 20-minute conversation about gargling dicks for some fucking reason.
Easy.
So
Easy,
without even a fucking challenge. Before we get into this week's topics, which are pretty sophisticated versus what we actually talked about last week, I just have to be honest with you guys, because it's eating me up inside. About 5 minutes or so before we started recording tonight, I just had to cut one loose. I had to just get one out of the way. What I'm saying is I jerked off right before we started tonight.
Okay.
Well, what kind of face do you make? Because I've been told...
I have no idea. Go ahead.
I've been told by my girlfriend that I make one of the funniest sex faces when I climax. Like, when I straight come all over, I just make the funniest face. Like, we were banging earlier, okay? You know, getting the business done from, you know, missionary position, because she's lazy. But anyways, yeah, getting it. And then, you know, I'm there. So I pull out, and I'm just like, ugh, and, you know, come all over her stomach and all over or whatever. And she just started laughing. And I was confused there for a minute. She said I have a funny-ass face when I climax. So I was just wondering what your face looks like.
That's a weird thing to wonder, but because I'm your brother and whatnot, but I have no idea. I'm sure it's absolutely fucking hilarious, but those are 2 reasons why this is the podcast your mother can be ashamed of. So let's get sophisticated at this point, because those who have, stuck it out through that, they just want to know what's up with this first topic. There are so many things that you could say to answer this question, but I just want you to pick one and make it a good one, whatever it is. Everyone knows of at least one out there, and that one thing is, what is a TV show that you believe should just be put to bed? Be fucking canceled. One that has gone on entirely too long, that just needs to fucking go.
Well, Greg and I do believe, are agreed that it should be Supernatural. That should be canceled. It's one.
Oh, you were going to go with that one? I was good.
Okay, good.
We don't even watch that show.
Scott's going with one. Greg, you're going to go with something different. That's fine. I only want you guys to pick one. So if you're going with Supernatural, okay. Scott, go ahead.
Well, I haven't really watched it, though, but I heard that it's pretty much met its end when
because I've been getting the details from my mom who does, and she said that they basically, by the 8th season, is it? Their 9th season that they're on? Basically, they've killed Satan or did something, and Alex or Crowley or whoever is the new Lord of Darkness or something like that, and they've pretty much run out of ideas. Once you've run out of ideas or jumped the shark or whatever, it's just like, you gotta put it to rest. You can't just...
Good old jumping the shark. Jesus Christ. I've never watched that show, so I don't know a single fucking thing about it. I'm gonna have to go with the original CSI. The show should have been canceled after Grissom left. And they've done nothing but drag this show out, and since then they've canceled They canceled CSI Miami, which in my opinion sucked as well. I don't like the guy that played Horatio, whatever. His one-liners and putting his glasses on and off and shit, fucking retarded. I can't stand him. The storylines were a lot better, but he's just a fucking god-awful actor, so I was, didn't care for that show because of him. CSI New York sucked. It was never good to begin with as far as I'm concerned. And the original one was the only good one, but once Grissom left the show, it just, they tried so hard. They've had some good people. They don't gel with the cast correctly, and then they're just changing everybody, and I think there's only one original member left, and the show is fucking garbage at this point. I take it, it's a lot like Law and Order, with all the different branches that come out of Law and Order, and they finally canceled Law and Order after 20 fucking seasons or whatever, and it was at least 10 years past its prime. It needed to go, way before they finally did. And now, SVU is on, and it's, from what I hear, it's not that good anymore, but I don't know because I don't watch it. NCIS, where the original's really good. NCIS Los Angeles, in my opinion, sucks. I mean, I like LL Cool J. I like Robin from Batman. But no, I'm just kidding. I don't really care for him because all I see him is as Robin. That little old decrepit bitch, I can't stand her, so I don't watch the show. And so New Orleans comes out, and I'm like, I'll check it out, I guess. And then it's got the bitch from Sons of Anarchy in it. And then everybody's like, y'all going down there and get him? I done there, so now kill that. I'm going to go cross and ride rockets and red rocket my dick in my ass. And I'm just like, nope. I'm good on that because I can't fucking take it. I just can't do with it.
That's not even how people from Louisiana talk.
Well, I mean, it's not that bad.
Especially
I'm obviously over exaggerating it. Since I said you can only pick one, I say the original CSI needs to be put to bed because it's just been awful since Grissom left. If I could pick two, NCIS New Orleans needs to be put to bed already.
And I'm going to go with a pretty obvious choice for me, and I'm going to say a show that I think should just end right now is Family Guy. Don't think the show has been funny at all for years now. Characters have become like shadows of their former selves. The writing is lazy. It doesn't make me laugh anymore. It doesn't seem. It's not fun. It's not funny anymore. It just seems to just only be there to, continue making money for Fox, and anywhere near as funny as it used to be. And I mean, I'm not one of those people who likes the first 3 seasons before the show got revived or anything. I mean, I liked the seasons when it first got brought back, but sometime around 2008, 2009 or so, the show really began going down in quality, and then it almost immediately it just turned to complete shit in my opinion, and I haven't been able to bring myself to watch it for a while. I mean, it's nowhere near as good as it used to be.
Now, I gotta disagree. I agree with the part of it's not as good as it used to be. I do agree with that. But to say that it's complete shit, I disagree with that. Does it make me laugh as much as what it used to? No, but I try to think about, is it because of the fact that, I've grown up? You know what I mean? So I'm not going to find the same things as funny like I would, or certain jokes that I found funny back in the day I wouldn't find funny now. And my only issue is it seems like everything's a setup for a cutaway. There for a while, it was just da-da-da-da-da, cutaway, da-da-da-da, cutaway, da-da-da-da, cutaway. That was just set up, cutaway, set up, cutaway. That's what it was just like. It was like
it's
that
become
for a while.
non sequitur.
And it was just the whole point of the episode was like everything was just a setup for a cutaway. But they haven't. It's not really that bad with setup, cutaway, setup, cutaway, setup, cutaway in the last couple newer episodes that I've seen. Is every episode gold? No, absolutely not. But I mean, looking at the older stuff, not every episode was gold either. Now, if you want to talk about shows that are just a shell or whatever of their former selves and have needed to go for a long time, and just everything you said about Family Guy is exactly how I feel about South Park. That shit should have been canceled like 15 years ago. I don't even know how many years it's been on, but I know it's been on for a long ass fucking time because it was on when I was in elementary school, and by the time I got to high school, it sucked, in my opinion. I feel like how you feel about Family Guy, Greg, is exactly how I feel about South Park.
I'm thinking shows like Glee and shit like that
Oh, well,
just
that
don't
is
even
ending.
deserve to have the TV time. Oh, is it fucking
It's
time?
actually ending this. I heard it was ending this season, like after this season. So it's like you're getting your fucking wish, man.
So you were saying like that shows like that don't need to take up TV time. What do you mean by that?
Maybe a show that shouldn't have been put to bed could have been there, but it's just shows like that are just wasting time. Just nobody wants to watch it. It just sucks.
Well, I mean, by no means am I a fan of Glee, but Glee is a highly popular show. I don't know what that says about the United States. But then again, shows like American Idol and shit are extremely popular. And I feel like some of the creators of these shows, not so much the creators, but maybe the execs that make the shows bleed out for this extended period of time while they milk the money, for example, like I said, CSI. I just feel like those people should be put out onto an island or just out in the streets in general, like downtown Detroit, homeless as fuck. Well, Detroit's not a good example because they could just go into one of the abandoned houses and not be technically homeless, but I guess that's, beside the point. What
New York City.
There you go, New York City, LA, whatever. They're homeless, they're in the streets. That's where they need to be. How do you feel like you would do if you were in their shoes and you were homeless and left in the streets?
First thing I'd probably do if I
Cry.
if I was homeless is what?
Cry.
You just
That's
said
what you
cry?
do. Cry like a fucking baby. Yeah, cry like a fucking baby.
Oh my
You big baby.
God.
You guys need to
Piece of
fight
shit.
each other. Fist fight right now. I don't think you'll do it. James is like, please.
Okay,
I got money. I'll bet money.
get your skinny white ass.
Oh no,
in
that's
here and let
what
me-
No,
that's
no,
what
no,
Greg
no,
and I
no,
will
no.
do.
We will
I
save
take
it. We
the
will
big guy.
We will save it for a
That's, no.
special episode. We will broadcast it live. James and I will have the podcast while Greg and Scott fight each other. The entire podcast. Either one of you that were trying to answer the question. This is going to end up in you guys fist fighting. Like afterwards, they're going to go and just beat each other's ass and be like, God damn it, why didn't you do it during the show?
Well, no, that's what will happen. Is just Greg and I will end, or if we were like ended up out on the streets, we'd go into like the hobo fighting arena or something like that. Maybe something like that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. No, I was gonna say because I remember hearing this somewhere. Like, if you ever like are in a situation where you don't have a home to live in, thing that I heard was what you should do is you should go to like 24-hour or something like that and get a membership there because usually they have like showers and shit there. So like if you have you could keep some of your possessions in one of the lockers. There's a place you could go to shower. They usually have Wi-Fi, so if you have a laptop, you could bring that with you, so that way you can surf the internet for jobs. I mean, that's probably one of the things I do first because shit, I don't know what else to do.
Say, you're renting a place, whatever, and all of a sudden you lose your job, so you're on unemployment or whatever, where you can't afford, so your ass is going out on the street. You're becoming homeless. There's nothing you can do about it. To prevent yourself from becoming homeless, when you start trying to sell off your possessions, like, for example, you said, like, your laptop and stuff, anything that you had of any sort of value, is that stuff going to be worth it if you don't have a roof over your head?
Well, I probably wouldn't sell my laptop right away because I would
You
probably
need that for
Yeah.
you need that for
Just
porno, exactly. I get that.
not just that, but to help
Hey,
look
hey,
for
listen.
a job because
Listen,
shit is
homeless-
on the internet these days anyway.
Look,
So I
Homeless
mean,
people need to relieve themselves as well. I get that. So I understand why you wouldn't sell your laptop, and I agree with you. Although mine wouldn't stay charged very long, so I'd have to be somewhere to where I could
yeah.
to where I could plug it in.
Um,
So I'm the person that gets caught in the library jerking off in the back to some hentai.
But
You like that callback?
oh, that's right. I was also gonna say money was ever a problem. I could always begin selling drugs.
Do you feel like you're smart
Or sell
enough?
yourself.
Do you how well do you know the chemistry? Oh,
Oh
we're not
fuck! I
cooking
don't
meth?
mean like hard drugs. I mean just like weed or something like that.
Oh, well, weed's not gonna get you anywhere. It's just selling weed.
Jesus Christ.
You'd have to like sell like meth. Well, in this area, if you got weed in this area, then you'd be able to sell it.
And you
because
know this
I'm-
how?
Supply and demand, motherfucker.
You know how many people I hear complaining about how they can get fucking coke and heroin? How many people in just recent time have fucking OD'd on heroin in the local area? Like obviously, people can't get
Well, I
basic
don't
shit, so
remember hearing-
they start fucking ODing on heroin and shit.
I never thought of that. I mean, I always thought anytime an ambulance came by, I was like, oh, another shooting. But, I always then thought to myself, wait, man, I would have heard the gunshots. I mean, we're out in an area where that wouldn't really be muffled.
Either some
Yeah, I mean,
dumb
there are a lot
damn redneck is dying by a heart attack in their ghetto-ass house, or some coke.
I don't think there's
Cokehead
any
or
white trash
whatever.
dying of heart attacks. Like, I've seen a lot of the white trash here, and while some of them are overweight, I've never seen any obese white trash.
It's because they're fucking
Probably-
crackheads.
It's probably like heroin or something, because I've seen plenty of houses where Luke and I have been like, yeah, those are probably traps.
Exactly. James, weigh in here. What do you think you would do?
I'd probably, like you said, sell my things. Like, I don't have very many things. Like, I'd sell my Xbox and my TV, because I mean, I wouldn't need them. You can't lug that stuff around, so I'd sell that and eat. Find somewhere to go. Maybe a friend to lean on, just for a minute, so I can
Get your shit together.
try to find a job. There's a place downtown I can go. They have computers there, or the library, since most job applications are online now. Or I just eat rank ass meat and
Try to
walk
bump
down the
cigarettes.
street. Yeah.
Try to bump cigarettes off people. Anyway, so let me change up the question a little bit, because I think now that we're really talking this out, I feel like it's completely fucking obvious what you would do if you become homeless. You would sell off your possessions and what you had to do to try to keep yourself, and then you gotta do what you gotta do to get by. Now, so let me change it up to, how do you feel like you would fare? Are you doomed? Like you're gonna fucking die for sure, or like you think you'd be alright, you could make it, or how do you feel like you would fare in the situation?
Well, where I live, I'd be like, oh shit, I'm gonna get robbed. I'm gonna get robbed. And
How would you
stabbed,
get? Why would they
probably
rob
die,
you?
so.
You're homeless. You don't have anything.
They don't know I'm not homeless. They just know I'm a little white guy walking out middle of the night because I don't have a home. They don't know I don't have a home.
Wow,
They think
that's
I'm dealing
racist
drugs
as
or something.
fuck.
And then
Yeah, because there's gangs
gonna
of
jump
black
me
people
and-
roving around looking for little white boys to rob.
Oh.
I don't think I'd do
James
too
in
bad,
the
because
background,
I
get stabbed.
I think I'd be okay. It's not like I don't have any family or friends or anything to rely on. It's me against the world or anything like that. So I don't think I'd do too bad.
they probably
It all
rape-
depends.
What'd you say,
get
James?
stabbed and raped.
Okay,
Like,
so
rape, too.
who's you're just getting stabbed? Greg is getting stabbed and raped? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'd probably get stabbed and raped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was continuing what he was saying earlier. He was saying, because he was talking about how he'd get robbed because he'd be out on the street,
Right.
and then he's
he gets
saying he'd
stabbed.
probably also get stabbed and raped.
Oh, okay.
Probably even raped with a knife. I don't even know.
It's just gonna escalate as we continue.
As we
this.
continue, he just thinks of worse and worse things. How do you think you would fare, Scott?
This
Dead
always
within
happens.
the first week.
Hey, let me speak for myself.
And then he pauses, then he's like, I would be dead within the first week. He just repeats what Greg said. Go ahead, Scott, go ahead.
No, okay. Yeah, I'd probably just say fuck it. I'm gonna become one of those train riding hobos and just go off into the west and just live my life on the rails. Mostly down south. I'd rather be where it would mostly be warm.
I thought you were going to say you wanted to go south because that's where it's mostly white. Oh, I see how it is here.
Actually,
Oh, okay.
Actually, there are.
Yes.
Yeah,
there's,
I know. I was
Don't get Mike started on the whole white thing.
Now, I was hoping like hell that Scott was going to stumble around a little bit on it and then be like, actually, I'd be dead within the first week. I was just really hoping that he would just like play around like that wasn't what he was gonna say, and then just jokingly say that. Oh, it would have been perfect. I would have fucking shit myself from laughter. For me to answer it, how do I think I would fare? I've nearly been there a few times. I feel like if worst comes to worst, there has to be at least one person I'll be able to turn to. In all seriousness, Nick is not somebody that I want to turn to immediately because I know what goes on at his house. I mean, as far as the government knows, I don't know anything is what I'm saying in SA. I don't know anything about anything that takes place in Nick's house or anything that he is involved with or where the bodies are or are not in his backyard. I have no idea about those little kids. So there's no need to listen to NSA any farther. You can just tune out right here. Alright, now that they've tuned out, I know what goes on at his house. Okay, so I don't really want to be involved with it. You know what I'm saying? But if worst comes to worst, I really feel like, you know, he would be a situation to where, like, I know I could stay there. He's not going to let me get shanked and raped. So there's that.
They'd probably take my shoes. I'd be left there naked, raped, stabbed. I'd with a knife in my ass. They'd find me with a knife in my ass. God damn.
Now, what happens if before you get raped and stabbed and all that to death, and your shoes, coat, and hat taken, before all of that takes place, or hey, even after that takes place, say you use Scott's idea and you take a train, you go out west. Well, he said out west initially before he said the south. You could even take it south. Maybe you take it down to Miami. Maybe you take it out to LA. Whichever way you want to go. Now, say you're there. You're still a hobo there. You're in the streets. You're still homeless. And some guy walks up and he offers you some money. See, he's starting up this new site, this new website, right? And it's all about kind of incest porn, but kind of not incest porn. You know what I mean? Like, he says, I'll pay you big money, but you gotta get your brother involved, and you guys are gonna have a tag team with one chick. So basically, like, you're having a threesome with your brother, but it's like a tag team, so you're not both, like, doing it at the same time. And he offers you the money, and it's gonna be the thing that gets you off the street. Would you do it?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to see your face anyways, so.
You want to see my climax face? You fucking sick.
I think it'd be okay.
I don't even want to do this anymore.
I feel like.
That wraps it up with 30 minutes
listen,
of mayhem.
Listen. Greg last week was like, I feel like we've gone too far.
Nick said something monumentally fuck up.
And you were like, I think we've gone too far. And I'm like, Greg, we've done how many of these? How is that going too far? And now here we are with me going, I think we've gone too far. So I get it.
And if you said it, then, you know, probably.
There's always a point where we think it's like, oh, we've gone too far. And then a few episodes later, we're like, okay, now we've gone too far. And it just continues ad infinitum, like, for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, I think I'd be able to do it. I'd probably be the best one to do it. I won't make fun of you for your, you know, tiny guy. I mean, I'm sure she won't mind or whatever, but I don't know. As long as it's not like one of our girlfriends.
Oh, cool. No, fuck no. I would, no. I'm talking like a straight up porno situation.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Because no.
I'm just comfortable.
Well, as comfortable as what I am, I know, and this is, I mean, alright, we're...
Very awkward.
James has a Kong dong, let's not lie. If he put a Dixie cup like up to where like his balls and his dick like connect like a Dixie cup, and he sets his dick in the Dixie cup, it's gonna touch the bottom of it, and that's just limp. And he's a grower, not a shower, so I know he has a big old dick. Well, he got all the dick in the family apparently, because I got the complete opposite. If I tuck the Dixie cup underneath of where my dick and balls touch, I can barely get my dick in the Dixie cup. So James puts the dick in Dixie cup. So being in that situation with him, for me, is just intimidating, based on the fact that he's younger than me. He's got a big old dick, and I don't. I mean, it's just, I'm fucking ashamed of myself.
Well, maybe that chick likes the small guys because it don't hurt, I guess.
Don't patronize me.
I'm trying to make you feel better.
don't you patronize me.
I'd do it. I mean, if I'm getting paid to do it, then Fuck yeah! Not only that, but I have not gotten laid in my life, and it's like, you know what? If this is, I am at this point. I'm willing to do anything. Okay, let's just get this shit on. Okay, ready to lose that V card. I mean, it's like, it's not like, okay, we're brothers. Okay, it's not like we haven't seen each other naked before. I mean, when we were younger and we'd go to the swimming pool afterwards, we'd change in the locker room. So it's not like any more different. I mean, okay, yeah, we both have hard-ons, but I mean,
Oh.
that's
God, no. Don't. What? Why?
hey, it's part of the topic, okay? I'm not saying
I
that we'd
know.
have hard-ons from looking at each other. Oh God, no.
So it'd be very uncomfortable for you guys.
No, I would get the opposite because I mean,
No, don't backtracking now. You're talking about looking at Scott getting a hard on, all this other shit. Scott,
problem is
some
that,
fucking
no,
old
I'd
lady
probably
just
lose
walked into
mine if I
Scott's
saw
room.
him,
There sounded
but-
like a fucking witch. Like, what the fuck was that?
now that I'm beginning to think about it, I'd probably lose mine the second I saw Scott butt ass naked, because Scott's tried to
He's
shock me by walking out of the bathroom naked before, and it's like, oh God, cover yourself, man. And I once accidentally walked in on him when he was naked and he was bending over, and
no.
I stared into the abyss.
You did that to me one time, but it was perfect because here's what happened. I was lying on my bed watching TV, and my bed was positioned in a way where
I
the
wanted to get
nightstand
revenge
next to
on
me.
him for all the times he did it to me.
Well, yeah, okay. The nightstand was next to me, and there was this desk lamp right there, and so he comes in or comes into the doorway, and he's like, "Hey, Scott," or I forget what he said, but it was perfect because
hey,
the
Scott,
desk lamp
enjoying the view
was
or
right
something?
there at level with his.
Junk. Scott was just laying there, and he's like, the desk lamp is covering your junk. I can't actually see anything. And I was like, oh, God damn it. It's like, God damn it, I wanted to make you feel awkward like you always do to me.
So,
Fuck
Wow,
you.
you're trying to show him your dick?
Scott, have you ever walked in on Greg taking care of business?
You mean?
No, he hasn't, thank God.
Greg's the one answering the question. I didn't mean taking a shit. I'm talking about jerking off. So,
Yeah, no, that's what I meant, or that's what tugging it.
If we take what we know about Scott back that he plans on saving himself for marriage, which again I still applaud him for that. So this is an awkward situation for Scott. So Scott's homeless, he's married, and this guy offers.
I'll be on the rails. I mean, I don't know if Greg would be with me, but that's what I plan
Scott,
on doing.
we gotta do this together. That's the only way I'll get paid.
He's like, that's the only way I'm making the money,
you'd
man.
be paid.
Well, both of you are getting paid if you go through with this.
But no.
So what do?
I would
tag him in.
What? No, I would say you're on your own, bro. I'm not doing that.
Oh,
So
I would just
you would
say
basically make me suffer, continuing to be on the street homeless with no way of getting extra money.
There are better options.
Yes, there are better options, but none of them.
So you're saying you don't want to see his
None of them
climax
involve me
phase.
losing my virginity. Well, okay, some of them do, but they're one.
Not in the way you want it to.
Yeah.
So what it involves you getting stabbed and raped. So
and having all my clothes stolen.
So what Greg is saying, goddamn you, Scott, is he's not worried about making the money so that he's no longer homeless. That's not even in his consideration. He's not worried anymore about being homeless. He's like, hang on, wait, I was presented with the opportunity to cash in my V card, and I need your help to do this, and you're going to fuck me over. That's the only thing Greg's concerned about at this point. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's homeless. He could give fuck less about being homeless. Fuck, he enjoys being homeless at this point because he's been homeless for so long. He's been presented with the opportunity not only to cash in that V card, but he's gonna make a little bit of money, and you're fucking him over. Worst
pretend to be
brother
Scott.
ever. That does it for another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I have been your host. My name is Michael Mayhew, and I have been here with my co-hosts,
Greg.
James.
And Scott.
Don't forget you can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, on Android, YouTube, all of that shit. And you can donate to us on PayPal. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this episode. And that's it. Later, fellas.